Welcome to Smacky's Garage. Today we're going to be installing probably the most complicated piece of trim on this car. There's a piece of plastic that goes above the folding rear seat that requires many screws, many brackets to keep it in place. So today we're going to be installing this, and we're finally going to be finishing up the interior on this car. Alright, so the final piece that we're going to be installing is a piece that goes on the back above the trap door. So this piece was really hard to come by, not just the plastic that goes for it, but the pieces that actually hold it in place. It took forever for them to come back in stock. They finally came back in stock in NPD, so we're going to go ahead and get everything cleaned up and get this installed. We have this giant trim panel here, which is going to go on the car, back where we saw that gap. With that, to hold it on, we have many fasteners. So we have screws here that are, I think, hold this into place and also potentially hold this bracket on. And then we have these pieces, which were the really hard brackets to come by for this vehicle. They finally came back into stock in National Parts Depot. So they attach to the back of the car, and then you use it to push these clips in to the vehicle. So I think the way that it's assembled, and we're going to experiment with this, is so the screws are going to hold the bottom down. Then we're going to have these also screwed to the vehicle. And then these clips are going to be in these locations here on the bracket. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint these black to match and to cover up just the rough steel color of them. So we need to put this in here. So I think the easiest way to get this in place is going to be to actually take the trim out. So there's trim over here, which I think it's going to be sitting behind. You know, I have the same on this side, so that trim needs to come out. And then where I'm going to be screwing it in, so these screws down here are actually going to be behind the trap door. So the trap door is down here, which is currently latched from the other side, so I need to go ahead and I need to take that off from that side. So it's turning into a bigger project than I expected just to install this one piece of plastic. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start by taking out both sides there and here. Now these pieces that we're taking here out, you can see it's actually behind this piece. And I can't really push it back because it's up into the window. So I literally need to take out this too so I don't break it. Okay, so now I can pull this out, pull this. That one is out. Alright, you can now see that we got both sides out. So left side, right side. We're ready to put the parts in that we painted. So one of the interesting things about these cars when they were manufactured is it looks like they took these panels here, put them in place, and then drilled straight through. So what that would mean is, you know, if these panels are original to the car, the holes are going to line up well. If they're not, then parts aren't going to really fit and you'll have to re-drill them. You know, there's supposed to be a latch rod here that connects from here to here. I have it, not yet installed. So let's find something to hold this up. Alright, so if you've never seen the interior of a 69 Mustang trunk, this is what they look like. So this is a trap door that I repainted that doesn't actually have the latch in it, so it was pullable. There's a bracket here which should catch it when I open it all the way. That'll expose kind of where those screw holes would go in. We're going to go ahead and take a look. You can see the screw holes drilled through. So we're going to go ahead and open it up, see if we can get some better access to the screw holes. Okay, you can see that's now fully into place and open. So now I can see from the other side. All right, so the trap door is open. You can see where the screw is going to go under, where they are going to go into place. I might not actually have to take the trap door off, so that'll be better for me and easier for me. So we're going to go ahead and try to do it this way first. We have the panel, we have the brackets, and we have these pieces that go on the brackets. So one of the things that I noted and that I noticed is there's actually a piece that's missing that doesn't come with these. Luckily, I was able to scrounge up and get a piece that's going to work. So as you can see here, these go inside of here, and then there's something that's going to hold it in place, which also connects to this piece, to the back of the trim panel. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take some of these apart, and I'm going to have to take these clips off and move them to here to put it in place. One thing that I also noticed is there's actually two different sizes of these. So there's 2 smaller ones and then 4 larger ones. I'm going to make the assumption that the 2 smaller ones go on the outside, so small here, and then the 4 larger ones go on the inside. I only have 5 clips right now, so I actually have to find another one or order another one. So I'm going to get these ones on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on. I will leave this one open to take care of later. So I'll put something there so it doesn't rattle right now, but I'm going to wait till it warms up and I can go through the rest of the car parts in the shed. It's winter here. It's tough. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take these apart, and I'm going to get these clips in place here so that I can just push it into place. It's one out. Okay, you can see the clip goes onto here. You know, it actually looks like there's a piece of foam in there that's put in so that this doesn't rattle. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put the clips in place, but I'm going to end up reusing these green clips because, I mean, they're decent condition, and with that foam in place, it won't rattle. So I got to take all these out and then we'll move on to the next step. One thing that I should note is, so you can buy these clips right here. You can buy these brackets separately, but you can't buy these on the bottom that actually go into place here on the trim panel. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to buy it with the panel. So if you don't make the same mistake I did where I bought a panel that didn't come with these clips. All right, so to install these clips, all I should have to do is take it and push it into place, and it should just clip there. Let's see. Okay, that's in place. This is in place. We are good to go. So I'm going to do that on each one, and then we'll go ahead and install this. So when this is in place, one of the things that we're going to note is these 2 gaps here locate on this hole. So these gaps here will actually locate in that hole. So when it gets in place, it just holds there. This can move around a little bit to give you some play to get this pushed in. So with all those in place, we're now ready to put these on the car. They're nice and painted. All right, so we got them all installed. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we can go ahead and we're going to go ahead and put that back panel in up top and push it into place. Okay, so the back is in. I'm still missing a screw or 2, but overall, it looks much better. It looks like it's completely finished now, and the car doesn't look like it's in pieces. So, wasn't too bad of a project, but I have some tips. It really wasn't as easy as a project as I was expecting. I think one of the things that I learned is you need to make sure everything fits perfectly so that it goes in smooth like butter. Everything's lined up before you put it into place, or else you'll start dropping clips off the back. I had to spend a lot of time going back and kind of digging clips out. Another thing I learned is the little green pins, the black pins that we put in. I think one of the things that I learned there is you really need to get them on the back of that piece, on the back of the trim, put it in place, and then you need to reach your hand around the back and move it so it lines up with that hole. If you don't, it's not held in that way. It's gonna pop out and you're gonna have to go searching for it. Either that or it's going to go inside the hole and it's going to disconnect from the black trim piece. Thanks for tuning in today on Smacky's Garage. Hope you learned something. If you go through this yourself, make sure you learn from the mistakes I made and from my tips. Till next time.